Welcome to Front Row Review. Tonight is going to be trailer talk. I'm David Graves.
And I'm Vince Maniacs.
Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the trailer Quantum of Solace.
He'd be a pretty cold bastard who didn't want revenge for the death of someone he loved.
I don't think the dead care about vengeance. This man and I have some unfinished business.
The first thing you should know about us is that we have people everywhere.
What the hell is this organization, Bond? How can they be everywhere and we know nothing about them?
This is the world's most precious resource. We need to control as much of it as we can.
Name check. Dominic Green.
He's a person of extreme interest.
We've already begun destabilizing the government.
You know who Green is and you want to put us in bed with him.
Yeah, you're right. We should just deal with nice people.
Get in.
All right. Careful with this one, Mr. Bond. She won't go to bed with you unless you give her something she really wants.
I think someone wants to kill you.
You two do make a charming couple, though. You're both, what's the expression? Damaged goods?
Seems we're both using green to get to somewhere.
You lost somebody.
I did.
You catch whoever did it.
No. Not yet.
Tell me when you do. I'd like to know how it feels.
We need you to get rid of him.
When you can't tell your friends from your enemies, it's time to go.
Right now, I think you're the only person I can trust.
James, move your ass.
I wish I could set you free, but your prison is in there.
You don't have to worry about me.
So that was actually the second released trailer right now of Quantum of Solace. And so what'd you think of it?
It looks very exciting. It actually looks like a James Bond movie I'd really actually like to see.
You actually saw Casino Royale?
Sorry. Actually, the last Daniel Craig James Bond I did see on cable. I didn't get to see it at the theaters, and I did enjoy it. It's actually one of the best, if not one of the best James Bond movies they've had in a long time.
I personally think it actually looks more like, even though Casino Royale was a spectacular James Bond movie, I loved it from beginning to end. It was actually one of my favorite action films of that year that came out. So this one here I think even looks better than that one. And I think that Daniel Craig is spectacular as James Bond. He's probably my favorite one so far, which I know everybody will come out and try to shoot me saying, of course, who's supposed to be the best James Bond?
Sean Connery.
I don't think so. I think Daniel Craig is the best James Bond, or at least for this generation. He's more like the new James Bond. I don't think all the old James Bonds really worked for this generation. The James Bond for now needs to be somebody like Daniel Craig, somebody who kind of looks like an action star, rather than just somebody like Pierce Brosnan, who was okay as James Bond, but he really wasn't the action star type. I think Daniel Craig is James Bond. He's by far my favorite James Bond.
Well, as far as James Bonds go, I've never been really into the James Bond movies.
I was never into them either. I've never even actually seen that many of them.
I've never been a fan of them. Let's put it that way. I've never. I mean, I'm not a big James Bond buff.
Well, when I came out of seeing Casino Royale, I was a James Bond fan. That was the first time I ever went and seen a James Bond movie where I came out and I said, man, I can't wait for the next one. So finally the next one's here, and I seriously can't wait for it. The trailer looks spectacular. It looks action-packed, and it looks like they're doing a lot more with his character this time. Because, you know, Casino Royale was kind of like, you know, the first time that he was ever James Bond in the movie.
Well, for me, the thing about this James Bond and this new movie, at least they finally did something that I really I enjoy, is that they're finally putting a lot more action into the James Bond movies. And I think that was one of the things that really kind of shied me away from them, because there seemed that it seemed like there was that he did a whole lot, but there wasn't a whole lot of action to the older James Bond film.
I tell you, the scene in Casino Royale where they were at the airport, that was still one of my all-time favorite action sequences. I thought that was so spectacular. I just absolutely love that. So I just, you know, and the other thing about it is that, you know, the first one anyway, he didn't use any of the James Bond gadgets. You know how he always has the crazy, insane gadgets in James Bond movie. Well, the first one didn't use any of them, really. So I'm kind of curious to see if they're actually going to, you know, go that direction in this movie.
They got away from a lot of his spy stuff.
So it comes out November 14th. So let's check our intissometer and see what we're going to give it.
Intissometer.
Okay, so on the intissometer, what are you going to give it? That's you. That's your cue. Yeah. That's your cue.
All right, ready?
I'm ready. Intissometer.
I would give this film I will go see it.
On the intissometer, I'm going to give it I will go see it. Okay, well, that's it for trailer talk tonight. Join us next time for a new trailer, and you can visit our website. It's frontrowreview.com for more trailer talk and more movie reviews. So until next time,
this is Vince Maniacs.
This is David Graves.
And we'll see you in the front row.
Just the facts, ma'am.